Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, standing by here with Dandy. First up, give me your take on the game because it was a very explosive one.
이번 경기 승리에 대해서 좀 말씀해 주세요.
이번 경기에서 초반에는 저희가 소극적으로 했는데 용 한타에서 에이스가 뜨면서 급격하게 기울었던 것 같아요.
During the early game, I was playing rather passively, but then at the first dragon fight, we aced the opponents. So I think from that point, it became pretty easy. Yeah.
It did go pretty well after that. Dandy, you've been playing great so far, and you're known to be getting in the heads of your enemies. What's your preparation process like for that?
댄디 선수의 정글러 플레이 스타일이 상대방의 마음속을 잘 읽는 걸로 되게 정평이 나 있는데 그거에 대해 어떻게 준비를 하시는지 설명해 주세요.
그러니까 저 혼자만 이렇게 상대방의 정글러의 움직임을 읽는 게 아니라 계속 라이너들과 의사소통을 하면서 어디서 나올 것 같다 이런 식으로 서로 유치를 해가면서 해가는 거기 때문에 팀원들이 그만큼 받쳐주는 거라 생각해요.
So actually, it's not just me who's in the jungler's mindset, but as a team, we could communicate with the laners and we try to like guess where they are, and I think that's how it works.
So it's a team effort. Now, with this victory, you guys have locked in your spot for the next round. What's your take on the teams in Group B of who you'll face, and what team would you rather face?
지금 현재 이제 8강 진출을 확정지었는데 그룹 B에 뭐 TPA, TSM 그리고 로얄 클럽인데 어느 팀과 붙고 싶나요?
저는 로얄 클럽이랑 붙고 싶은데 일단 저희 한국 선수들이 거기에 2명이나 가 있잖아요. 그래서 뭔가 붙으면 좀 재밌을 것 같아서 로얄 클럽이랑 붙고 싶네요.
I want to play against Royal Club because they have 2 Korean players, and I think it's going to be a very interesting match.
Well, of course, they have Insec in that jungle who used to be regarded as the best jungler in Korea. That might be you at this time. So what do you think of his level as the games you've seen here so far?
그 로얄 클럽에서 이제 인색 선수가 예전에는 한국을 대표하는 정글러였잖아요. 근데 이제는 댄디 선수가 요즘 한국 대표 정글로 꼽히고 있는데 인색 선수에 대해서 좀 얘기해 주세요.
저도 옛날에 인색 선수를 좋아했었기 때문에 인색 선수의 스타일이 아직까지도 저는 공격형 정글러의 그 최상위권이라고 보고 아직도 많이 배우고 있어요.
Actually, before I was a really big fan of Insect, and I learned a lot from his aggressive play styles. I still think his aggressive play styles is considered top tier. So I'm really looking forward to playing against him.
If that matchup happens, it'll be a great one. Congratulations on locking in your spot, and thank you. And as for us, we're going to head back over to the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Sharks. First and foremost, congratulations to Samsung White. They guarantee themselves that spot in the quarterfinals. They will be going to Busan, Korea to play in front of a home crowd starting October 3rd. And that game, really chaotic, really exciting, but well executed team fight-wise once more.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the story of Samsung White because they were so thoroughly humiliated last year. A lot of people, myself included, anticipated a Samsung White SK Telecom K finals, and they really dropped the ball. And so this is kind of the first step on their kind of road to redemption here at Worlds after they had, a fantastic showing throughout 2014.
Let's just take a step back, remind everybody Samsung Ozone last year.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's very interesting, up until this point, they have been playing standard and champions, things like that. Let's pull up the replay that we've got of a Dragon team fight ace at 10 minutes. Double Lift, talk me through this fight and what you feel they did right and their opponents did wrong.
So they had just ganked Lucian, and he's dead right now. So it's a 5v4, and you can play it right now. So you can see their top laner, HQ's top laner, comes in with a TP, and it's very clearly a 5 versus 4. And in most situations, you should back off here. And so they choose to engage. Blitzcrank goes in for a great hook on Pawn, but they're so uncoordinated. 2 of them are on Mata, but 2 of them are on Pawn, which allows Pawn to get free damage off, get the reset. They're so focused on Mata right here, they finally finish him off, but it's just too late. Katarina's already gotten 2 kills and gotten the reset. It's just no good.
And also, just something that I want to point out, because this is more of a Korean thing right now, is that Dandy has been doing a lot of E-Evolve first on Kha'Zix, where most of the Western teams and other teams in general have been doing W-Evolve first. But it's very useful in these comps with multiple resets to have it early for these. I mean, that's one of the big factors that allowed them to win that fight so convincingly.
Just some food for thought really quickly. There's actually a few of the EU Kha'Zixes that will level W but Evolve E,
Yeah.
and it alternated
that's what-
towards playoffs as well.
I think one of the reasons why you see more North American junglers evolve W is because actually evolving W doesn't increase the damage, as far as I know. It just makes it easier to land, right?
Right.
So if you have great mechanics like Dandy does, you don't need to evolve W to hit the right people. He's so confident he's going to hit that skill shot, he just evolves E.
But what it does do is it increases the slow very heavily, and it will just hit more targets, meaning that you've got more soft targets for Katarina resets, right? You don't reset off one guy, you reset off of 3 guys. And Evolving W actually does help do that.
Let's step back really quickly. We saw Kale top lane. We saw Katarina mid lane. We've got some really cool stats and graphics prepared talking about how diverse Samsung White have been in their first 5 games. I'm going to kick things off with Looper. In 5 games, he has played 5 separate champions. This is actually shared with multiple players in his role. So let's start talking about some of these picks. Rumble, Maokai, Rise, Alistair, Kale. They're 5-0 in their group. They've only got Edward Gaming left to play. It's so difficult to prepare and plan when you've seen at what level they've played. Yes, arguably the competition has been at a lower level, but what does this do for quarterfinals and for every team trying to scout them?
Yeah, it's really terrifying, and the Kale really isn't a surprise. That never truly fell out of the top lane meta in Korea, and we, in fact, all of the Korean top laners at this tournament do have the potential to play Kale. They've all done it in recent memory. The Rumble pick for Looper is a little bit surprising, but this diversity coming into a quarterfinal match, how do you even begin to deal with this in terms of picks and bans? There's virtually nothing that you can do. And also, moreover, when you start showing some weird picks like Katarina, if there are champions that you play that Katarina can hard counter, all of a sudden you're kind of afraid to play those also.
I agree.
So,
well, let's roll this one on. Let's take a look at some of Pawn's champion picks because he is also in this 5 games played, 5 champions. Zillion, Yasuo, Talent, Zed, Katarina. 4 assassins out of 5.
Yeah.
Zillion thrown in for the mix for good measure.
So what I love about this is it actually combines well with Looper's champion pool, where Looper's playing all magic damage dealers and Pawn basically 3 out of the 5 here are physical. And it actually allows this team to run a lot more comps. You're not hamstrung on, oh my god, we have to get Corki or we have no magic damage here. And it allows a lot of variety in picks.
And we haven't even seen Orianna or Syndra, the other sort of picks that are high priority as well.
yeah, and most terrifyingly, we haven't seen his Jace. And Pawn's Jace is really a force to be reckoned with. So, but that's another thing that a lot of teams are going to be thinking about when they go into quarters.
And keep rolling this one along. Imp, once again in the 5 games played, 5 champions. Tristana, Twitch, Vayne, Corki, and Lucian up there. So between Doublelift and Crepo, again, just godlike level AD carry, got a bunch of champions to play, got to be scary.
Yeah, I think what this does to enemy AD carries is it makes them really scared, and it makes them want to counterpick because they want to see the matchup first, or else they'll think, wow, Imp knows every matchup. He can play every AD carry. If I pick my AD first, he's going to counterpick me, right? So it's just such a big intimidation factor, especially since Imp is playing so well.
I feel like the biggest part of the counter pick relies on the support pick, though. I want to have like an early AD pick, and then as long as support gets to pick last, you usually should be able to at least tie up the lane.
That's true.
And the thing is, Mata, it doesn't even matter what he plays. He'll play anything in any matchup and still do well.
Yeah. Interesting. Only 3 champions for Mata.
I agree with you, Crepo. It doesn't really matter whatever he plays. Imp's been really impressive, and everyone else is going to need to improve to get to his level.
Yeah, now Mata, as I was saying, 2 games Thresh, 2 games Janna, 1 game Arnami. We are halfway through day 3, so let's take a quick look at the standings as Samsung White have booked their ticket to Korea with a 5-0 record. Only Edward Gaming left to face tomorrow at the end of the day. We will be seeing a hotly anticipated matchup in just a moment, but we'll take a brief break from these championship games. We'll be right back with more action from Worlds as the Taipei Assassins will be facing off against Team Solo Mid. Guys, stay right with us.
They're going to finish him off. One more auto attack when I've done it. There is him going aggressive. He gets the kill on Green Team. Can he take on it down? Oh well, my! And the lantern! Pawn in the back, going to get exhausted. What's he going to do? He's on towards Green Team. Dandy will dive over. It's reset city for Samsung White. Oh, Mata going in there once again. Green Team going to go down before he can do anything. Meanwhile, Dandy is in the backside. They're going for Nad. Getting 3 points for going straight through the middle of the team. Oh! Shut down, and that allows Pawn to get right onto the next of them.